My child. Well, it's not about oiling someone. Like, we are not here to oil someone. We are not here to barter someone. So already crude oil price is very high. So we should stop oiling. What I want to try to tell you is, if you grok the subject matter, not grok AI, but if we try to grok the subject matter, you do your karma, you do your work. That's why Shri Krishna says, Ma phaleshu kadachana, right? Karmanne badi karaste ma phaleshu kadachana. So if you do your work properly, in the truest sentiment, I believe you will set the things on fire. But as Ripam said, there expectations. We have a lot of expectations. We have a lot of desires. That what people think. Look, every action has its own and opposite reaction. Okay, your action should be clear. My action should be clear to others. But against that action, if I feel the same energy would be bypassed or would be given to me, then I am always wrong. If I think that whatever I'm doing right now, if I'm learning English, I must be focused on that. I must be zeroing on that. Right, then only I can learn English. Doesn't mean that whether someone is coming and asking me, whether someone is coming to practice with me or having a dry run with me, doesn't matter really.
But Manik, you are putting your interest in English here.
Yeah, but English is not someone.
Yes. So you consider it as an object, maybe.
Yeah, it's an object.
You are just
Right.
exemplifying it also.
It's an object.
You mentioned that
what is the topic?
You mentioned that whatever you are doing, whatever you are doing currently, you have to do it best. Right.
Right.
So maybe it is with English, it is with something else, with someone else.
What does your topic say? That be interested to others, to be interesting to others, right? This is what that subject matter. So here I'm not talking about the human beings, right? Here I'm talking about the meditation. Here I'm talking about books. Here I'm talking about my work. Here I'm talking about my good karma. I'm not referring to someone else. My things are referred to me. Say, in a family, right? We have a lot of family members. If I'm doing my work properly, if I'm loving my parents, it doesn't mean that whether my parents are loving me back or not, whether my soulmate is loving me back or not, doesn't really matter. What I'm doing, I must be focused on my own karma. My karmic actions must be great, so that I can do something in my life, right? When we talk about expectancy, we all are UP, we all are materialistic, right, in this world. But we have to go beyond the horizon we think. We have to go beyond that. It's impossible for the time being to go beyond that, but we have to try every day. So that at the end of the day, you will not be, atrabilious. You will not be in, high braggadocio. So I don't want to see myself, or I don't want to be down the dam, so that I have to be secure enough. I do not want to have the expectations from others. Whether someone is interesting, whether I'm interesting to someone or not, doesn't really matter. Am I doing my karma well? If I'm a leader or if I am the boss, Aratika was talking about, if you are the CEO. Oh no, I'm sorry. Someone was talking about if you are the CEO, then you have to think of everybody, right? You do not need to do that. You are paying checks. You are giving them facilities. You are giving them money. Okay, they're happy. It doesn't mean that how much kind you are to them. It doesn't really matter. They don't count that. They only count their bills, their currency bills at the end of the month.
So work environment doesn't matter.
See, we are not the animals, so I believe it matters, right? We are not the animals. So it is important. Basic needs are important. Now, if you think that now an AC or a refrigerator is really expensive or is not our necessity, then it's wrong. So working environment is really important. Out of that,
then how your statement will hold
no,
water
whether
here?
I'm kind to you, whether I'm polite to you, how does it matter to me?
Because employees are not machines.
Huh?
Employees are not machines.
No,
They are human beings.
you are given a piece of job. Do that. Does it pass master? Yes, it does pass master. Do your work. At the end of the day, get your money. That's the deal.
No, it's not.
I'm a
It's
businessman.
not like that.
It's not to you. It could be others. It could be to others. Not everyone is not Mr. Ratan Tata, right? There are people who are running other businesses. So it's not important that you are how much empathy you are. So you don't need to be empathetic. Okay, show your sympathy. Don't need to show your empathy to others. You can't be God to everyone. You don't need to be. Come on. Do your work. That's it. Whether someone is loving you or not, it's not your business. It's not your concern. So I do believe.
Then you are talking about good karma, right? You just now you have said good karma.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
I
mean,
do believe, 'cause,
yes.
yeah.
So how it
I'm a
will
spiritual
generate?
guy.
How it will generate?
Sorry.
The good karma, how will it generate? It will generate from the blessings of people, right?
No, no. See, if I'm loving
You
someone,
are doing something good for people.
you
That's
are
why your
talking
good
about
karma
someone,
will
you are
come,
talking
right?
about the byproducts.
Byproducts
If you are
means-
interesting to someone or not, it doesn't really
no, no,
matter.
no. You
you're
just-
talking about the byproducts.
I'm
talking
not saying
the byproducts.
about that. You just mentioned that you have to do some good karma, right? So how the good karma will work, or rather, I mean, how it will generate the good karma?
Look, I do believe God is sitting with the register. God is registering everything. Whatever you do, He registers everything.
Don't you think your speech is itself a contradictory
How?
one? That you are saying that you do not care about other people, and again you are saying that God is
No,
looking
no,
at
I
you.
do not need to be kind. I am doing my work. Now, whether people are inspired, people are influenced, doesn't matter to me. I am doing my work. I am just focused on my work. I am loving you. I don't need your love back
By
in return.
who got by proof you have to achieve that particular goal, right?
No, that's up to you. That's up to
So
you.
isn't like very much self-centric work?
It can be because I am always self-centered. It can be. It is. So why can be? It is. What it is, I'm calling a spade a spade. Again, I'm clarifying the matter that whether you are loving me back doesn't matter. I am just focused that, see, I want to be successful. I want to see, I want to be on the crest of a wave. But I am not trying to think that, Cheyenne shouldn't strike oil. I'm not trying to think that. I don't have time to think that.
No, it's
I'm
not.
just thinking of myself.
I agree.
That's
I agree.
crazy.
It's not your concern
That's
even.
positively crazy, I believe.
Yes. I also agree. It's not even concern
No,
even that what
no,
this
no,
person
no.
will.
Right.
But the fact is, say for example, you are the businessman. You mentioned that you are a businessman or you are
You can
going
be,
to be an entrepreneur.
you can be shy on. You can be selfishly ambitious. What's the wrong in this condition? If I am selfishly ambitious, if I am
But
thinking
for
of,
your for fulfilling your ambition, if you are extorting
No, I'm not gonna kill
someone,
someone.
if you are
I'm
no,
not
I'm
gonna-
not
I'm not gonna
killing.
kill someone.
I'm talking about extortion, extorting.
Huh.
That generally the people
why to do that? You
they do that.
You have no,
They do that. They generally, as you mentioned, as we are talking about that work-life balance, I was trying to
Right,
say.
right.
So in work-life balance, if there is no work-life balance, the employees generally get extorted.
right.
They kind of have to work from. I mean, anytime. There is no.
They are
limit.
trying to be interesting, I believe. They are trying to be interesting.
They are trying to be interesting.
Interesting. And actually, they are neither interested nor interesting. They are just cold-blooded criminals who are sucking blood and they don't have any ethic, they don't have morality. I'm not talking about that. We have to, when we are alive, you have to stand with your morality. Because at the end of the day, you have to believe that I have to answer to the Almighty.
Okay, now I want to exemplify one point. In Spain, we have generally 4 days work.
Right?
4 days work, and they are more productive than us.
Okay.
They are more productive than Indian employee. Indian employee generally have to. I mean, people have said they have worked on mainly 70 hours, 80 hours. They have mentioned, but in case of Spain, only 36 to 40 hours per week. So, but they are still more productive than us. So, don't you think that it is something we are following some wrong work-life balance or something?
Shayan, I give you one example so that this thing will be clear. For example, your dad has a lot of money, and my dad doesn't have a lot of money, right? So the world is not so beautiful to me.
I mentioned. I understand why
I
are
don't
you
have to
going.
work well.
I understand
You don't
that.
have to work well. I have to work harder.
I understand why are you going, but I'm
Yes.
saying the production, productive,
More effective.
effective or productive. I'm sorry.
See, I do believe recently there was a piece of news, or not recently actually, some years ago, there was a piece of news that Australians are dumping their waste in our country. Now I don't believe they are doing because the government had taken a lot of actions against that. They are dumping their waste. So they are calling the laborers, cheap laborers. You know very well what's going on in Kuwait, what's going on in Middle East countries, right? So you have to understand they are hiring the laborers. We Indians are now laborers for the time being. I believe after 20 years that situation will be changed. But for the time being, they have a lot of money because they are the European countries. They know very well that their problem is world's problem, but world's problem is not their problem. So they are having that spoon which is made of diamonds, right? I believe diamonds. So I do believe they gathered a lot of wealth. So we feel they are productive, but they are not at all productive because 4 days a week, right? Work-life balance. We don't have because blood was sucked. Our blood was sucked in our own country. So we cannot have that life right now. China fought well. China changed everything because you know very well what happened in 90s in China. They didn't have any work-life balance. Now they are progressing well, faster than the United States of America. Now we have to do the same thing. Because this generation, if this generation doesn't work, then the next generation wouldn't have the fruits. So the thing is, I'm telling you, you don't have to be interested. I'm sorry, you don't have to be interesting, but you have to be interested in your own subjects, in your own objects. If you do your work well, if you see, you all are here putting our heads together to learn this lingua franca, right? We all want to be fluent speakers in English, isn't it? That's our productive work, that we all are here to learn this language. Now, if you practice well, if you don't think like, what I will learn from Manik sir, or what will I learn from Shayan, what will I learn from Ripam? If you work well, if you come to the class and if you don't need to go to Ripam, or you don't need to go to Manik, or you don't need to go to Chandimar, you don't need to go to Pichka. If you just listen to them well, if you just put down, note the words properly, you will be a good speaker. You don't need to go to anyone else in your life. So that's a simple strategy we all have. Now, if you come to the class, if you ask how to speak well, but you're not practicing, you're not focused on your own work, do you feel that your English will be interesting at all? I don't think so. Right? So, similarly, I'm trying to tell you is be interested in your own subjects. You don't need to oil others, you don't need to make others happy. Just be happy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, yeah.